do it, and we were fortunate to have parents that loved children. And at that time, the girls who got pregnant would, their family would seek a home for them to go stay until the baby was born. And then after the baby was born, the girl came back to her mother and father, and she never saw the child after that. That was what was done in the early 60s. And so my mother and daddy were keeping girls like that. And I went to I went with my daddy to the hospital where a girl had a baby, and she had not seen her baby, and she was very traumatic at that time. And so I thought to myself, this is not what we really want. This is not what we really want. We want something that's better than this. And those girls were treated like they were strangers from their own parents. And I couldn't do that. But Mother and Daddy kept them. They kept several girls at that time. And my mother and my daddy were very much involved in
This, I love telling about Agape. And I have an opportunity there. I guess there's, every week, 10 days or 2 weeks, I will have an opportunity to tell somebody about Agape, because I have been searching, for things to get to outfit one of the fit houses, because I think it's a great program. I think it's a wonderful way to go for a family, and I will tell them what I'm doing. They said, well, I haven't heard about this. What is this? I says, well, it's one of the programs of Agape. Well, what is Agape? I says, well, it's an organization that's founded here in Memphis, and I says it started out trying to help needy children. And it has grown now that it not only helps children, but it helps families. Well, what do they do? I says, well, this program that I'm talking about is just one of many they have. I says, someone will come to them asking for help, and there's an interview system that they go through. And if the people think that they are sincere, they're trying to turn their lives around, then they reach out and help them. And it has to basically be a mother where there is no father involved or no man involved in the life. It can be a mother that's just pregnant. It can be a mother that has 4 or 5 kids. And what they do, in several of the areas in Memphis, they have gone into apartment complexes, and they go into the area of Memphis that is kind of a poverty-stricken area. And they will go in and they'll rent 4, 5, 6 apartments, or I don't know how many, or several. And then they will furnish those apartments with everything that is basically needed. It's not new stuff, it's just stuff that's contributed off. They will set them up in this apartment, and they'll get the children enrolled in school if there's children, and if it's an unwed mother, they'll see that she has care. And I said, during that 2-year period of time, she has to pretty well get her life straightened out. She has to get a job, and if she has done all these things, a finished school, a job, then they give her the apartment and everything in it, and all she has to do is just pick up the rent. The children do not have to move from their friends. They do not have to change. I think it's a wonderful program. And people are very, very interested. And I said, not only that, they have a social worker that they move in that works with them all the time. And I said, that is a part of Agape. And I says, there's so many people that they help. Just not like that. It's just too numerous, and I think it's thousands that they help every year. I don't have the figures. I wish I could tell you. and they want to know where they can get more information. So I tell them very quickly, go to the internet, pick up the phone and call. So that is how, as I say, I am very heavily involved, and I just want to get those 10 apartments finished so badly, so I can go on some more.
Bless you. That's very good.
It's a great work.
There have been lots of Jimmies that have been cared for since you took in little Jimmy.
That's right.
And a lot of lives have been touched in some very special ways. And more recently, the two of you have made some changes in your estate plan to
We
help
have.
perpetuate that ministry so that future Jimmies can be helped and served. What does it mean to you to know that you're going to be able to help future generations of little Jimmies that you will never know and never see?
I have a big regret about it. I regret that we cannot do more.
We're very thankful that God has placed us in an area where we could be used. We're very thankful.
How would you describe how your life is different today than it might possibly have been as a result of Agape being a part of your life?
Well, I don't really know the answer to that. I just live one day at a time. And I'm very thankful for Agape. I'm thankful for you keeping it going. And I'm thankful for the people who are involved in Agape. And I've known a lot of people who are involved in Agape. And I'm thankful for that.
I have learned to be more compassionate, especially with children. I'm very touched for those that hurt. And I think the involvement there has given me a much stiffer backbone to deal with a lot of things. And I'm thankful for it. I thank God daily that He has blessed me with an extra measure of being able to remember and to keep my mind. That I can talk to others and tell them. And I'm just sorry that I can't gather all of them up in my arms and love them. But I can't be selfish. Others have to help us. And it has had a big impact in our life. Whether we realize what it is or not. But we care a lot. We've left out so much of the story, so many of the events, so many of those sweet little children that came through. Jerry mentioned your little Tammy and Bobby. Oh, they were so adorable. We kept them in our house a lot. Little Bobby was about the age of our Kenneth. And oh, I have some pictures. I saw them the other day, them in the middle of the bed jumping. One of my things that I just never liked was kids jumping on the bed. Because mother had told me a story about a child jumping on the bed when she was real young, and the child fell off the bed, broke his neck. So, you know, I just would never let my kids jump on the bed in my presence. But, you know, they did it when they was way. But I can see little old Bobby right now, little old sandy-headed kid, freckles all over his nose, adorable. Jerry and I would have adopted those children, even though we had 4. But the grandmother would always show up the day before, what was it, every 6 weeks or 3 months, you know, they had to have a visit from the family. She'd show up 2 or 3 days before, so they were not adoptable. But
She kept them from being adopted.
But anyway, there's just numerous of them. The little boys he was talking about, that was Harry and Ross Wilson. And a lot of the children, I can't remember the names. They would just come in just like a revolving door. You know, they'd bring them in and we'd work with them and they'd take them out. So it was...
Well, there were people like the people lived there on the corner across the street from the church.
Oh, Doris Jean and Irby Cole.
Yeah.
We should...
He was confined to a chair, and he couldn't walk, and so they kept children in their home consistently. I don't know if they still have children, but they're about our age.
And the reason he was in a wheelchair, he was one of the last ones in that age level that got polio before they came out with the vaccine. But they were things, but their home was one of the intake homes, and before, you know, they started being able to do that. So it was a progressive things from neglected children.
His name
To
is
people who care.
Herbie Cole.
Irby and Doris Jean.
Herbie and Doris Jean Cole.
And to just taking in some children to building homes and housing them that way, and moving on to something better to get a organization so children could be placed in other things like that. And it moved from just helping children to helping families or helping unwed mothers. There was, and back in the 50s, unwed mother was, that was just taboo. It's very bad in the 60s. And so it's gone from that now to, I don't know how to describe Agape now. It has just grown in such marvelous ways. I don't know how to describe what it is doing and how it works. But I know it's doing great things because it was founded on the right principles. And the leaderships in it has been God-fearing man that has kept it strong.
David has done a lot to
He's visionary.
yeah, he has done a lot to further Agape.
The
Take
two
it
of
to
you
new
have been
horizons.
involved since the seed of this thing. It's been about 50 years. You talked about Jimmy at 64, 65. So the seed has been there about 50 years. What would be your hopes and aspirations for Agape the next 50 years if the Lord doesn't come? What would be your dream and
I
vision?
would hope that Agape could expand their program, much like the FIT program, and help families that need help. I don't think that the black people will ever get out of poverty if they don't get help. I don't think they'll ever get out of poverty. They're born into it, they live it, and they go to school that way. They come home, they get most of their meals at school, and I don't think that you can change their lifestyle unless you help them.
The thing that I would like to see, Agape was founded by Christian men and women, and it was a church sponsored organization by the churches of Christ in the, I'll just say, the Shelby County area. And I would like to see it I don't want Agape to get so far from its founding, who founded it and why it was founded, that it just becomes another organization that's doing good. Does that make sense?
You bet.
And I would like to see, I think I would like to see more